Hello, fellow holders of the blue, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to what it's going to be the last Royal Retinue review from this studio. As you can see, I'm probably here because I tore down all of my acoustic panels and the mic is not where it used to be. I am moving. um, it's going to be a little bit sad, but you see all the boxes around there. And yeah, I thought it was fitting to do the last of the Royal Retinue review for the year before moving. I thought that was appropriate to send a nice goodbye to this old studio. And yeah, all packed down. So that's it. A little bit sentimental. Everything is packed down. I don't even have my usual branded shirt, so I'm using one of my regular T-shirts. The only thing I didn't pack because I just couldn't before the live stream is this. So I will be seeing you soon in the new studio. And please be patient with the regular updates for the videos and all of that. I have a ton of videos planned. Of course, I'm going to be full-time, so I better be. And yeah. So please be patient with this. I will produce more videos, but I need time to establish in the new place. Let's see who do we have in the chat? We have Marcel Diedrecht, Crystallios, Charlie, Twisted Nerves Painting, and Giuseppe, which is cooking, was appropriate. Oh, we have my partner here, so everyone say hello to Afo, is my partner, which is waiting for me in Madrid, and I will be there very soon. So, why don't we start with the review? We have a packed review today, and I need to be quick because once I finish the review, I have to go and pick up my my van for the move. So, I think we should do this. And it's also going to be, I think it's going to be the first regulatory review with my new Huion pen display tablet. So it's going to be exciting as well. Moving takes time. We will be glad to see you back to this new studio. Yeah. Will she make an appearance in some of your videos if she wants? Yeah. She's an amazing illustrator, so I really hope she wants. It's all up to her. I'm not pressuring. So moving to the review. We have, I said, 10 entries. We're jam-packed, one of the biggest. We also, I need to be quick, so please understand. I need to pick up my van because this is the last day I can pick it up. I'm going to be moving on the 26th, but I need to pick the van now so I can move. I can start the move as soon as possible. Yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Or whatever word you use for that. I don't really care. Here we say, in the Basque Country, we say Egu berrion, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not very good with Basque, but if you ever felt curious about how we say Merry Christmas here, that's it. Okay. Oh, let's move here. So we have this amazing entry by Paul. And this is tiny miniature. So like we're talking true 28 millimeters. So really small, and it's extremely well painted. Okay, FJ, have your servers pick up the van. Yeah, but I am a king of the people. So this is it is amazingly well painted. And when you do this kind of paint job with so much freehand and such a small tiny spaces and so well done, it's really hard to give you any feedback apart from whatever you did, just do it better. So it's all about refinement. So a cleaner freehand, cleaner and smaller, cleaner or crisper or smoother highlights and shading is all about that. So it's a little bit boring, but I'm going to try to enhance this a little bit. Yeah, Amazing Needle for just such a tiny figure. Yeah, I know. It's a tiny miniature, and it's all freehand. The full cape is painted with freehand on the sleeves, on the whatever the skirt, I guess, and on the carpet as well. So it's really well painted and really difficult to do. So what we're going to do is, first of all, improve a little bit of the skin. I want to go way higher. And I want to shift this towards the yellow colors. Like that. Oops, this is way too big. I finally learned the shortcuts to change my brush size. Better late than never, I guess. I can feel like the lightning for this miniature is coming from one side, so I do want to increase that, make it more apparent. Yes, a little bit more. You don't need much. Maybe I would probably change this so it's not as dark. You know, that under the jaw, under the cheek. Something like that. Yeah, I do like that much better. Here the ear as well. Yeah, I do like that quite a bit more. Apart from that, we have tiny corrections. Like, for example, the NMM on the staff here looks amazing, but it could be better. And how can we make that better? Let me grab an ochre. Yeah, I'm going to saturate it a little bit more. The thing is, we have a highlight on one side of the cylindrical bits of the NMM, but we're lacking it on the other side, and it doesn't. It just, you're losing metallic effect by doing that. So just adding a highlight here makes so much difference. Do the same here, like that. You can see it clearly. How much of a difference it makes of this bit compared to this bit. It's quite astonishing change. I love that the eye of the eagle is painted. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Paul is a fantastic painter, and I've seen him evolve through the time he's been submitting to the Royal Retinue Review, which makes me really proud. I'm going to darken that side so we can add this here, like this. Oh, it's so much easier with the pen display. If you ever want to do this kind of painting on the computer or use Photoshop extensively, get a pen display. Like, it's so much better, so much easier and better if you use one. So that's my main changes. I want you see how much an enhancement of the NMM that was. Look at that. And the changes of the face, so it looks even more intentional, that lighting. Look at that. Pretty good. We can also add some of this counter reflections on the eagle, but this is like, we are talking about tiny details here. We would probably have to increase the the shading in some bits. Just makes it look better. Like that. It's not much, but it is something. So apart from that, there is very little you can do to improve this, apart from technical stuff. So smaller, crisper highlights, or it be a bit smoother. And I would just change a little bit the highlighting on the face, just increase it a little bit, make it more intentional. Or you can, if you feel like it, you can even add a small highlight there on the lip. But I don't really do that. It's my pen. To make this way smaller for that. Something like that. Just to emphasize that maybe there was a little bit too much. There was a little bit too much. We can tone that down for sure. There you go. There you go. So that's it really. Maybe we can define better the hand with a little bit more of that gray there. But apart from that, this is such a complicated thing to give feedback on, because it's just technical. You just need to do what you did, but better. But away at the amount of highlight and shadow on such a tiny face. Not much real estate. No, it's really difficult. It's a really difficult piece to paint. But yeah, Paul did a fantastic job, as he always does. Let's move on to the next one. We have a pretty high level in this review, so that being said, this is Tim. Welcome to Tim. We have, this is Tim is. Each time Tim does something NMM, it's better each time, and he had this blue, the bluest Space Marine for me for this review. The main thing that stands out, well, the NMM is obviously stunning. Nice Tim. The NMM is obviously stunning, so I'm probably not going to say much about that. It's very Richard Gray, which is a lot of Tim's style. Feels like it's not finished, which is also something that Tim usually does, is submits stuff without being finished, which I totally get. Especially this Spirit Seal seems like the wax seems like it's not finished. The only thing I don't particularly like, or don't think it's done as well, is the sword. Not because the blending is not fantastic, which it is. I'm talking about this fire here. I think is the other way around, because I would like to see like the brightest part of the fire being in the inside, and the darkest part being on the outside. Let me just grab a couple of colors and put them here, so I have them for my use. Now I have like scale I can actually use to do this. I would like to see the brightest parts of the fire on the inside of the fire. It's because fire usually behaves like that. You can't really highlight fire the way you highlight the other stuff. It's going to look weird because I have to work over something that's already painted, so please be understanding. Funny thing is, actually, Tim did the other fire on the miniature well, and I can't really seem to understand why he chose this way of doing the fire on the sword. That's brilliant, Tim. I really love the glow from the sword casting on the NMM. Yeah, that is fantastic. Yes. You see here the fire on this brazier is done well, and the sword is the other way around, and it's something that is a little bit confusing. You can see the difference of what I've done. Really, like I said, a little bit hard to do when you have to work over what's already there, but I think we are getting. The idea was that the heat doesn't come from the blade. That is, it was cool black. Yeah, I don't mind the blade, but the fire. I do like the blade. The blade is awesome. It's just the fire coming from the blade just doesn't look natural because it's painted weirdly. The issue I have is with the flames, not necessarily with the blade. I know that was clear. Something like that. Something more or less like this. I would like much better. You can see. I hope you can see that one looks more fiery than the other. The other looks strange. I do like the blade. I don't intend changing the blade at all. I do like it. I think it's pretty awesome. More changes. Yeah, I do like the OSL casting on this side of the mini. It's pretty damn good. I would probably increase it even more. So I would make it even more prominent on some places, especially. We're talking about this kind of edges. This would be catched by the fire as well. So you kind of have to paint them. Metal is extremely reflective, so everything is going to catch, even if it's far away, because it's really reflective. Another couple details I would like to see different is, for example, we have some details here, like this peak. It's not touch, it's just black. And I feel like we would see at least some edge picked up like that. A little bit. You know I like to pick up the edges, Tim. I know it's not necessarily your way of doing things, but I do feel like it looks a little bit better. Same for the spikes here at the back. Yeah, missed that part. Again, this is super reflective, so we would have some orange, at least in some of these peaks. At least on at least on the edges. At least on the edges of these peaks. Let me just do that well. Oops. Go. Yeah, learn new tricks. Oh, we have painting Peter. Good morning, Peter Juan. That was funny, actually. Let me. So this is brighter. I would like to see some even white, just surrounding this. Just like this note, just makes it feel, I know, better. Just like that. Yeah, apart from that, this is, well, not apart from that, this is an amazing paint job. So, yeah, really well done, but I would definitely change the fire on the sword and do it as the same way you did the fire on the braziers. It's the only thing that is standing out to me as not being like perfect. But apart from that, this is actually pretty amazing. And I think you know that already. I don't think I have to tell you that. I've picked this up, pick this here, this here, and this here. And probably this here. The problem when you start to do this is it's an infinite amount of adjustments because you need to think about everything. And OSL over metallic over NMM, it's tricky. But yeah, we could even have some here on this darker side, just a little bit. That's as far as the light would be reflecting over such a metallic, oops, it's an intensely metallic surface. I put a limit and didn't go beyond that. We've always thought, yeah, I know, but you can go nuts, and of course, you will have to finish the purity seal if it's not finished. And the purity seal, actually, let me grab this color and darken it down. Since this is supposedly wax, you can go nuts with this. I would darken this whole thing. I know which colors you want to use, but I'm going to go with that. And then we can grab this orange and just do a tiny reflection. And modify that for a pinkish highlight on the purity seal. Something like that. It needs to be finished, but apart from that, fantastic job, team. Yeah, really good job. I would definitely change the fire on the sword. Just the fire. The sword is fantastic, but you see the how much like fire looks if you change the order of the highlights. But you already know that you did it on the brazier. So yeah, whatever. Fantastic job as always. It's always inspiring to see your work, and I really mean that. We have we're going to move to the Jonathan. he painted this lovely Tyranid, and this is the first time he did trying to do like an inner glow on the brain. And I'm going to start with that. Well, I'm just going to say that the bases are great, because he actually pointed that out, that he was trying to improve his basing, and I think it's really cool. Let's continue in Discord. Yeah, exactly. Let's continue in the Discord server. By the way, if you want to take part in these reviews, or you want to take part in my Discord server, you just have to join my Patreon, which I'm going to start, which you will get access to it. And if you want to take part in the review, you just have to join as a main at arms or above. And once a month, you will be able to submit a mod for me to review. Pretty simple. Okay. So the glowing brain more or less reads, but I think we need something more. He did it with the OSL, so I think kind of like what the El Miniaturista does, and it's not a bad way of doing it, but yeah, you need to increase the glowiness a little bit more. So I would go up to pure white again with your brush. So on top of what you just did, just a little bit of white in the recesses, like that. That alone is a big improvement on the glowiness, and then we can even go darker on the tops. Grab dark magenta. Shit, I need to be more careful. And put this on the top of these brain tendrils, so to speak. Maybe, yeah, I do like that. If you make the upper parts of the brain texture darker, the glow is going to appear brighter. You see the difference? How much of a glowy brain that makes? It's a big difference. So it's a good start, and I will say that the white ink for the win. Yeah, exactly. I see. That's brilliant. Yeah. So the thing is, the airbrush OSL effect it's a good start. You do the airbrush with the fluorescent pink or whatever you used here, but then you have to refine it a little bit more. That's what gets you the best results. It's always a combined technique. Always a combined technique for the best results. So always finishing with a different thing, with a different technique. And there you go. Yeah. But apart from that, it's a fantastic looking. I mean, it is a good start. Let's see. I would like to see some more highlights on the green. Maybe you could do a bit more highlighting on the green. I would probably shift it towards the pink, towards the yellow hue for the highlights. You can see it here on this little guy. So you can add just a bit of highlight here, just on the top of the tendrils. You don't have to go all the way around, but something like this. See how much that does? It's just a small highlight. I know it. I say it's so easy to do. Well, it can be tricky, but it's not. Once you learn how to do it, and you should. I mean, I think you paint well enough that you can actually correct that. like this. I can have this here. And shifting it towards the yellow makes it brighter and more impactful, something like this. Again, you can see how much of a difference a simple shift in hue and a small shift in value can make. That was really creeping that color pattern as well. I really like it. Yes, I think it's a really cool color scheme for Tyranids because it's more realistic than what usually done. I think it's a great idea. Yeah. Check out the carapace. I will probably. He was worried about the carapace of this thing, and I mean, I quite like it. You just probably have to do finer lines. Really difficult to highlight these big monsters. You can always go higher with some of the volumetric highlights with this kind of mid brown, but it's so dude. This is very easy to do on the computer and very difficult to do in real life. So don't stress yourself. I think the carapace looks good enough. I wanted to concentrate most of the feedback on the glowing brain because that's one of the main features. Better, 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 better. Yeah, that would be it. I think the base looks awesome. I think these little guys, the smaller guys, look fantastic. I kind of like them even maybe a little bit more than this big fella in terms of how you highlighted the carapace. So we could probably move into this like ice yellow kind of color and apply it especially on the front of the head. So we can unify both minis, both parts of the miniature or the unit better. Probably, yeah. I think that this really works. That really, really works. Astonishingly well, actually. And now you can see that both parts of the unit look more cohesive and integrated just because we integrated the same like greenish yellowy tone on the carapace. But yeah, great work. I will save this and send it to you as usual. And now we're going to move into Peter, which I think is here in the chat. Yeah, I think Peter is here in the chat. And he has a plane. I've never seen this plane. So I'm guessing it's from Forge World. No idea. But I think, I need to drink a little bit of water. I think he said this is from, he's the first time doing weathering. It's a Forge World plane. And my main thing is, it's very obvious that you used acrylics for the weathering. And I think you should, and it looks good, but I think you should try oils, especially for vehicles. It's a game changer. We see details like this patina on the brass parts, which I would like to see smoother. And that's really easy to do when you do it with oils. You use both. So you use both. I want to see more like integration. More integration here. So I want this to be smoother around the edges of this weathering. You see, they want. I do like it. I like some streakiness, but I also want not such harshness on some of the lines. So you apply the oil, and then you go back and you just blend it into the rest of the surface. Because another good example is here. This is ending like super messy. The end of this like a streak needs to be more integrated, so it should be something like this. I do like this big brown one. Looks awesome. Same here. You see at the very end, I do want some more integration. Maybe some more variation on the streaks. For example, here, I would love to see that, you see, increased and more streaky. Like that. It's a good idea. I think you had the right idea by doing it in the direction of the plane flying. Yeah, the initial patina was acrylic, then they made it look like shit with oils. Yeah, just use. It makes no sense to use acrylics for this. You're just complicating yourself. Just use oils for the weathering on vehicles. It's so much better. If you use acrylics, you're using the wrong tool. Another thing I would like is a little bit more of a richer shade, and again, oils for that are amazing. So I will probably take this dark brown and just make sure you have a nice richer shade across all of the Mini. Yeah, they are out of the window from now on. Experience really showed me always way better. Always had just better for this job. This is just each tool has its uses, and this is the prime use for oil paints. I would like a little bit more definition, especially on the white panels. Yeah, I've been afraid on resuscitating the white, but also so it's the clean mix. Yeah, exactly. You just apply with oils and then you just clean it up. It's just so easy. And if you want a less intense effect, less staining, because they will stain a little bit, but if you want less staining, you do a gloss varnish or a satin varnish. You apply the oils, and then you clean them better, because the shinier the surface, the better it's going to clean. And then you just flat varnish again with an airbrush. And the issue is if you don't have the airbrush, then it can be an issue, because you can't really varnish smoothly without it. But it needs this richer shade all across the white, especially the white, but also it would benefit from some really dark richer shading on the red as well. So, and that's what oils are meant to be used for. Weathering on dark surfaces is really difficult for vehicles, and I think this is essentially what you should do. Is just some richer shading with some dark brown. Rotterdam varnish could be an alternative to airbrush, but be careful. Yeah, I wouldn't use Rotterdam varnish. My experiences with them are mixed, to say the least. Yeah, of course, it got some varnishes to them, and next steps are clear. Yeah, that's essentially what you have to do. Is that I didn't add the glow here on the I didn't because I thought it looked good enough, so I'm not judging that. But yeah, really good job, and just reset all of the plane. I want reset shading everywhere, and it's going to gain a lot more definition. You should use a dark brown for the black as well, like a mid brown, so you have some uh, differentiation there. You could see some that because it's really difficult to weather planes and to paint dark planes or dark armor with oils on like models and stuff like that. It's a kind of a speciality. People use like light grays and stuff like that. So, but I would suggest a brown for that. But yeah, good job, good job. That's all I want to see is more shading. Don't be afraid. Just use oils. Something like if you have to buy, I would get probably something like a Van Dyke brown, but a burnt umber is also going to work really well. Van Dyke brown maybe is a bit too dark. Maybe burnt umber is the right color to go. But yeah, good job, Peter. That's great. Let's move on to Giuseppe, which is their cooking, and is submitting a miniature for the painting competition, and he wants some feedback, some harsh, on his own words, some harsh feedback. I'm not going to be harsh because I'm never harsh, but I'm going to try to see what's lacking on this mini, and it's pretty obvious to me that one of the things that are lacking, apart this is really well painted, like really well painted. I like this a lot. But there are a couple of things I would love to see different or fixed. One of them you can see here. It's not clean. You see all of these things. This needs to be crisp. Crisp. That's the name of the game. You see here. I want all of this to disappear. I also need more definition. Roasting time. Not that bad. I also want more definition around the details, especially around the details. Let me rotate this. You see? Around purity seals, around these details that are on top of the yellow armor. I want that dark outline around, surrounding them. Otherwise, it's just too similar in color. We are talking about the bone color. But we're talking about a brown color and a oh shit. Let me grab a brown and a yellow color, and they are way too similar. So I want, fixing all of these details. I will go with an oil panel there. Yeah, that is a good idea. An oil panel liner. The same we talked about with the plane. Things like this, you need to be careful. You see, you have some paint over the edge highlight. This should be fixed. Or fixed or turned into weathering, which is also an option. You just turn this into some weathering, and now it's not that bad. The lenses are super nice, yeah. The lenses are great. So that's why I'm not going to talk about them. I'm only going to talk about the bad stuff. That's why it sometimes feels a little bit harsh when you do this kind of stuff. But yeah, I need definition on all of those details. You see it here clearly that we have some yellow on the green. Yeah, turning into more weathering is easier, exactly. That's why I suggested it. You can see it here. You see some yellow over the green. That needs to disappear. I want to see green there. I want to see green, and I want to see a darker outline between the details. You could probably highlight this red a little bit more. You know, some final touches. Like that, on the tips of the missiles or his nipples. They are just green dark nipples. What more? I know you can't really do that, or maybe you could with some oil. Maybe could be a possibility. Is a little bit more shading on the yellow. Let me do another layer, and I will set this to. I think it's multiply. Oh shit! Yeah, I think it's multiply. Let me turn my opacity down. You see what I'm doing? So a little bit more of that weathering, that directional volumetric weathering. That's probably something that it's way easier if it was done before all of the work. I know that now is probably not feasible, but for the next time probably. Just don't be shy. Don't be shy with your volumetric shading, especially on the front. You can see how much it does to make it more, to make it bigger, to make it look heavier and bigger, more imposing. Yeah, but be very careful. Be very careful. Just maybe take a shade, something like Seraphim Sepia, very thin down, and just apply just a tiny touch of weathering of shading on the bottom of each panel. Be very careful, please. I don't want you to ruin everything. But so do that at your own risk. That's what I'm going to say. This could also be a good idea. Here, for example, these decals are just naked, essentially. You don't have any shading on the decals. So if you do that, that's what I do on my Imperial Guard vehicles. I put a decal and then I take my airbrush with some Seraphim Sepia and I just shade it towards the bottom of the decal. So something like this. Like this. This would also increase that effect and make that decal more integrated. So it could be a good idea to do that. You can always feather out an acrylic shade with a clean brush if you get in a hard edge. Yeah, you can. It would be easy to do with oils, for example. Just apply the oil at the bottom and just feather it out. It's so easy. You just take the right oil, maybe a mix of burnt amber and raw amber could be a good idea for that. And just feather it out onto the rest of the model. But yeah, it needs a little bit of a volumetric thingy. And again, I want more definition around these symbols there. But apart from that, really good job. I have nothing more to say about this. Really good job. Thanks, Giuseppe. Hope that helps. Now moving to the 6-1. This is Luke. And Luke submitted this lovely vampire. This lovely vampire. Really nice base. I love that blue. It's just such a cool color for a stonework. I really like that. Things I would like to see different here. I would like to see a better highlighting and shading on the cloth. That's my main takeaway. Yeah, it checked in. Yes, it did. For example, if you're highlighting cloth, you need to think volumetrically, not just picking up like the raised folds. You see what I'm doing here? I'm highlighting inside some of the folds to increase the realism of the cape. Look at how much of a difference that just made. There you go. You see? Simple highlights. Thinking about where the light would catch instead of just thinking in terms of topographic height on the miniature. I would also love to see a little bit more highlight on this side. Like that. This is a lovely pink you used to highlight here. I would like to use it to see it on this side as well. Like that. You see that simple highlight, and we can even go brighter than that for sure. For sure. Just on that part. We don't want to go too saturated. We don't want to go into this region, but this is pretty good. Just here on the very tip. Thank you. You see, we're creating volume. And same can be said here. We can go brighter than this for sure. Yes, I usually call that the contrast barrier. Just knowing that you can go much brighter than what you're doing and still look good. That is something that it's sometimes hard to break. Like that. See how good it looks with a bit more highlights. And we're not making it. It doesn't look like it's like a brighter color. It looks the same color. It just looks better highlighted. Something like this. Yeah, I like that. For the eyes, I would you go with the glowy red eyes. I would try to pick like the very center with the brightest red you have. Just so it's, or even with something like Wild Rider red. Just that. That is enough to make it look better. Same we did with the cape, we can do with the black cloth. I do like the armor quite a lot. So you did a great job on the armor itself. I will probably increase the or pick up with the silver a couple more details here and there. You did well, but I would probably increase the contrast a little bit. But you are on the right path with the silver. So that's for the cloths. Yeah. Probably around here as well a little bit. Yeah, what happened to the painting competition? It already finished. I already did the judging. You can see all of my past live streams. You can see the winner announcement and the feedback. Yeah, I will, as I said there in those videos, I will be sending the prizes to the people. I'm already starting contacting them, so because they are in order, and some people already claimed their prices. I'm going to be shipping them golds in January, silvers in February, rest in March. No, kind of moonstone crystallios. So you just need to highlight that a little bit more. I said this highlight color. You can mix with the base color so it's not that egregious, and you can build that. All of my live streams are ready to watch, like forever. I'm not deleting them, so you will be able to see them. There you go. A nice reason to didn't pick it up personally. Yeah, that would be awesome if you actually came. That would be fantastic. I will take you to all to all good places to eat and stuff like that. I don't know many, but I'm sure my partner does. So we will be able to give you. So this is what I would do. I will work on the cloths. I would take this as an opportunity to work on the cloths and improve my cloth work. Yes, this is Stefan, and we have a really nice Terminator captain. Things I would love to see. This is really well painted. This is a very different style to how I paint Space Marines. I actually gave him some feedback, not on this particular mini, but on a different mini on this style. So I will go through some of the caveats. I'm going to start with the face. I know some of these artifacts are caused by the mobile phone. You just can't really avoid that. But what I want, stay there, is a bit more definition. As always, a bit more definition, especially. Oh, come on. There you go. Around the here. Looked like the nose has been smashed. That's a shame. Maybe it's an effect. We just wanted to dish it best time. What? I don't get that. I do not understand that. Sorry. I want to take this. Take this. Yeah, take this to define the lip better. I do like this pink on the tongue to be a little bit less pronounced. I would love to see maybe some highlights here. You see where the light is telling you that it wants. I will probably put some highlights there myself. Right. But for the cloth, asking, but for the cloth works, better long brush strokes or small ones. It depends of what you want to achieve. Some people do it with stippling, so it just depends on what you want to achieve. Really, that's simple as that. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm so tired. Sorry about that. I just couldn't help myself. Uh, I'm looking for things to fix because this is really well painted. I would probably want, yeah, I want more definition on the shoulder pad, the metallic one. Maybe we could shift towards the dark blue. So I would probably be more desaturated. I want this to be more readable. I want the letters to be more readable. I want more definition across all of these details. You don't have to use the blue. You can just use like a neutral black. But I want more definition on the metallic details. It's really difficult to paint metallics well. It's so hard. So I get it. And you did a fantastic job on the gold details here. Like in the, I really like this skull, especially this skull. Oh, the beat is buffering like crazy. Oh, that's awesome. That's shit. I don't know if it's on my part, but I doubt that thing is. I have an excellent connection. Okay, more things I would like to see change. I really like the base and the weathering effect on the lower legs. That's really good. Oh. No, don't start with the yawning, or I will be yawning the whole rest of the video. I would probably would like some edge highlights more on the around these bits, maybe around places like here. Oh, the same as we did for the armor. I would love to see for this sword, you know, kind of TMM pattern. I want that gradient on the metallic bits to be seen. So basically working more on the metallics, because some of them are good, some of them lack a little bit of definition, and I would love to see more work on them. The rest of the model I think is pretty damn good. Again, as I said this to you before, but maybe not my style of how I would paint a Space Marine, but most definitely a good choice. You can also try and this is a matter of just brush control and practice, and has been increased by the mobile phone photograph, but I would like you to practice this scroll work to make it a little bit less like splotchy and a little bit more like tiny lines. you know, so it's not like blobs of paint, but you just add like, you know, this kind of thing. Like this. Same here. So it looks more like writing and less like just splotch, something like that. But I know that it's difficult, and it's just a matter of brush control, really. Yeah, that's it. Good job. Really, really good job. See you in the next one. Let's go into Mark. And he's painted this lovely goblin, whatever it's called. I think it's a shaman. Could be a shaman, I think. Nice OSL on the blades. I really like that. I would probably love to see a little bit more of this increased TMM effect. Something like this. As you have here. Same here. You can even... No, I do like that. I'm not going to change anything there. Damn it, I always miss the spacebar. You can for sure increase the glowiness, but just by increasing the amount of white here, because this is supposed to be glowing. Going to pure white. There you go. See, looks more glowy immediately. Same for the eyes. If you paint the inside of the eyes white, then immediately they look glowier. That's the things. That's the kind of things I would love to see. Grab this nice turquoise color. More. Yeah. I would. I mean, this is really good, but I would try to start moving into a bit more volumetric work. Let me grab this silvery color. You can work more volumetrically, especially in the metallic details. More TMM-y, so to speak, while still having them like this grimy kind of color. And on the black as well. So we have all of these nice highlight colors that you used here. And you can try and work volumetrically as well as the edge highlights. I think this is the next step for you, is moving into the volumetric realms for the cloth. it does give him a different look. Not many changes because it's really well painted, but I would love to see an increase on the glowiness of the mushrooms and the skull. Maybe work volumetrically, but they know this is probably going to be for the next model. But you know, Mark, you know I love how you paint. So good job. Moving to the next one. This is from Carlos, and it's such a pleasure to have him back on the Royal Retinue review. He's been absent for quite a while, and he was in the first one, and was like a loyal submitter for quite a while. And it's so good to have him back. It feels amazing, and his painting has increased and exponentially from the very beginning. If you are curious about this, go and watch the very first Royal Retinue review, like 3 years ago, and you will see what I'm talking about. I love everything about this. I think it's really well painted. I think the base is fantastic. It's better than what I can do. The rust effect is really good. You can see it here. I know what he used, but it looks fantastic. And I love the blue on the armor of the pig. What I would do is, you know what? I would love to see more of this blue. I want more of this blue. Like a lot more of that blue. I wanted... Yeah, the rust is really good. I would love to see this blue everywhere. I want to see this in more panels. We have it in some panels, and I would love to see it in more panels. I think it's a fantastic contrast to the rust. The brilliant touch of orange, creating a super nice effect. And I want more of it. I just want more of it. Someone needs a dentist. Like that. I think the blue is a great touch, and I think it's, for example, some of the metallic details like these ones just don't have as much highlight as the you know, the big ones. So why not just adding it? I would probably darken the teeth down a little bit more towards the bottom. Just a bit. Kind of like to increase the lovely effect that it's already there. Have this lovely orky face. Let's see if I can see there. Yeah, probably. I would make the tongue darker just around these bits here. Not much, but I would love to see that. I do prefer my orcs to have red eyes, but I will respect your choice of a blue, of a yellowy eyes. Oh, that is up to you. I'm not going to go into that. I probably would like to see more of these highlights on the rest of the orc. You know, increasing the highlights because the face is lovely, but the rest is missing some. You see this muscle. I would probably increase that a bit more. Like that. Something like that. But you know, this is great. This is great. As I said, I would put more blue. I would love to see more of the blue in more of the places, and I would highlight some bits more. I know you are using a very Richard Gray kind of approach, where you know you paint the good things good, and you leave the rest, you know, whatever. But I would love to see the rest given some more attention. Yeah, for example, here, there. You know what parts are a bit more lazy and what parts are and need more work already. I know you very well. But it's a lovely pig, you know. You can always work more on this secondary kind of details, creating more light and increasing this texture maybe a little bit. You see, I know it's not the main attraction, but it just feels good to have everything highlighted to the same level or similar. But yeah, fantastic job. I really like this a lot. I was surprised when I opened it. Not because I don't trust in your abilities, but because this is very well thought out piece in terms of color balance, and I think it's very clever. So good job. Just keep on working. Let's move into the last one. See if I can get to the van renting service in time before they close. We have this lovely skink, and skinks are always the best. So automatically, we have already a winner here. This is again for a painting competition. I would just say the gold NMM really good, especially for this sort of shape, which is really hard to do. I like the photo is a little bit iffy. I can't really see much of it. I would try things like making the grab a good color. Damn it. I would try things like making the tongue highlight a little bit more specular. Merry Christmas, Hellraiser 08. More specular, so you know, more a little bit smaller. I think in general the highlights on his body are really good. We have some places here where I would love to see a bit more of a volumetric highlight, especially considering which is going to be like the main angle at which this is going to be seen or appreciated. You want to create some interest in those places. and you know, give the eye something to just follow. Don't miss some of the edge highlights and the gold. I know this is not finished, so I 100% understand that. There's some details here not painted. At least I hope you didn't miss them. But you have a bracelet here and this hanging thingy here. They're probably going to be painted like this orb. That would be logical. Another thing you can do is maybe take a purple color. Let's make a bright purple color and use it to reach a shade. Do it like an inner glow on this thing. I'm going to do something like really quick. There. Let me grab a brighter purple. Finally white. Something like that. Oh no, I'm late. Yeah, sorry, Paul. You were the first. As always, you always submit the first. You always get reviewed the first. But you all will be able to see the video. Feliz Navidad. Gracias, bud. And then we can get this nice purple we had here. And we can do some OSL with it. Fingers a little bit, maybe a little bit on the hand here. Something like that. I think it looks cool. I think there's cool effect if you're going for a competition. You can even add some of this on the gold here on the front of the helmet. That's a little touch of purple. Yeah, I think that is basically what I would do. I think the rest is really good. Be careful when you are, let me grab a dark brown, when you are with the feathers, to have them defined and crisped so people can see like the feathers well. Especially, you know, these ones are really good. These ones on the head were a little bit less defined, so I would be careful to define them the same way you did the ones down there. But apart from that, I think this is a great piece, and I really hope you get a good result on the competition. Consider this. I know you probably want to do something like this, which is also valid, but if you feel like it could be interesting for sure. But again, thank you very much for your submission. I will send you all of these pieces, all of the corrected photographs later on your email, so you will have them. Feliz Navidad. Espero que hayas tenido un buen viaje. So he's hoping I had a good trip. I haven't done it yet. This is the old studio. I will have it on the 26th. So thank you very much. And yeah, this is basically it. Let's just move back to the main screen. I really hope you enjoyed this review. I had a great time doing it. And you're going to miss the old studio, but hopefully we're going to move to a better place soon. And hopefully the new studio is going to be as good as the old one. That's the idea. Thank you all very, very much for the years of support and watching my videos and all of that lovely stuff that is usually said around this for this kind of occasions. I will see you in the new studio where and I said I'm going to start being like full time doing this. So you will see a lot more videos. I will also start doing exclusive videos for Patreon. I'm not going to stop making my usual content. I'm just going to add more content, but just on Patreon because I need to eat. And I really hope you don't mind that. I will do a proper announcement of all of this, probably at the start of the year. I need to do some stuff first. I need to put everything together. And thank you all for being here, and I will catch you in the next video, which hopefully will be very soon. Bye.